What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'm doing race picks for the 2022 Blue-Emu Max and Pain Relief 400. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. This weekend, the NASCAR Cup Series is headed to Ridgeway, Virginia for the Cup Series race at Martinsville Speedway. And unlike past years where the race has been a 500-lap race, this race is only going to be a 400-lap race. So this race is going to be a lot more intense than in the past years, and it's going to be a much more shorter race. The intensity and aggression is probably going to be picked up, and tire issues could be a major thing here at Martinsville as well. This also is the first half-mile track, but also the second straight short track race of the season after having another short track race this past weekend at Richmond. So now let's get into picks. But before we jump into picks for this weekend at Richmond, let's take a look at the weather for this weekend. The weather for this weekend is kind of chilly. It's actually no chance of rain. It's only a 10% chance of rain, but it's going to be really chilly at the racetrack. The high for the day is going to be 54. The low, I believe, in the upper 30s. So you're definitely going to need a jacket if you're going out. You may need a coat by the end of the night. So it's going to drop into the 40s. But you're definitely going to bring some warm clothing if you're going out to Martinsville this weekend. Quite a few people I know are headed out to Martinsville this weekend. So now let's jump into picks for this weekend. So for those who are new to the channel, these are how the picks work here. So for those who are new, I do two suck picks, two drivers I think are going to struggle, who I think are going to continue to struggle, or I think are going to have a bad run. Two underdog picks, two drivers I think that have had on a good streak or need a good run, who I think are going to have a good run. And then I do a winner's pick as well. And then I do ones to watch for the first race on Saturday night as well this year. And I've got four drivers to keep your eyes out for this weekend at Martinsville. So now let's finally jump into picks. Who are the drivers that I think are going to suck this weekend here at Martinsville Speedway? First driver I think that's going to struggle this weekend. This driver did not have a really strong race at Richmond. On top of it, this guy's been very hit or miss with a 5th place average finish. And he's one of the lowest full-time Cup Series drivers into the points or not. And it's very shocking considering it looked like at the beginning of this year, this guy was going to be a playoff contender, but it hasn't seemed to be the case. My first suck pick is going to be the driver of the 47 for JTG Doherty Racing, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Like I said, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has not really been that great historically here at Martinsville Speedway, and I do think those struggles, especially after he didn't have such a good run at Richmond, I think those bad struggles are going to continue at Martinsville, and I think that he is going to struggle this weekend here at Martinsville Speedway. My second suck pick for this weekend, this driver has generally not been very good. And compared to his teammates, this driver has been way behind the 8 ball and really needs to step it up and has not done that. He sits currently, I believe, 25th or 26th in the points and had a very underperforming performance at Richmond compared to his teammates. My other suck pick is going to be Cole Custer. Like I said, Cole Custer's absolutely struggled this year compared to his teammates. While Cole Custer sits outside the top 25 in points right now, the other three drivers are in the top 16 in points right now. And it really is time for him to step up. And unfortunately, Cole Custer has really not had that step-up moment at this year. So I think Cole Custer's going to struggle, and I think he's going to have a really bad run. I don't think he finishes inside the top 10 this weekend here at Martinsville. So now let's finally jump into the underdog picks. Who are my underdog picks for this weekend here at Martinsville? My first underdog pick has really had a very struggling year so far with a lot of issues. He did get that really good photo finish in the Daytona 500, and it seems like he's had a lot of speed at tracks, but unfortunately bad luck has come out, and unfortunately he just has a new crew chief as well here for the second week. That being said, though, this guy has ultimately been really good here at Martinsville and has led laps here in Martinsville in the past, and I think he's actually going to have a really good run this weekend since Toyota looks like they're back to form. I think that Bubba Wallace is going to have a very strong run this weekend. He's my first underdog pick. Like I said, Bubba Wallace has historically been really good, whether it's been in Cup, Xfinity, or Trucks. He's been really good here at Martinsville. And I think he's going to step it up to the plate this weekend at Martinsville, and I think he's going to bounce back after some not-so-great runs, and I think that he's going to contend for a potential top 10 this weekend here at Martinsville. My other underdog pick, this guy is coming off of probably the best performance he's had really since the beginning of the season, and it seems like RFK Racing is finally starting to get their groove together with the 6 team. And on top of that, this guy made up a ton of ground in the championship where now instead of being over 100 points back, he's 86 points outside of the cutoff line. And on top of that, this guy's average finish at this track is like a 10.2. He has been consistently up front every race. Yes, I know it's been Team Penske that's really helped him out. But I think that this guy is really going to do well. I think he's got a shot for a top 10. My other underdog pick is going to be Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski, like I said, has been really historically good here at Martinsville Speedway, and I think that he is going to do well enough to contend for a potential victory. I think he's an underdog to win the race overall, but I think he's going to for sure get a top 10 this weekend here at Martinsville. And now we're jumping into the winner's pick for this weekend at Martinsville. Who is my winner's pick? My winner's pick has won one race every single year since 2019. This guy won the fall race in 2019, then in 2021 the spring race, and also in 2021 won the spring race. I think that this guy is once again going to get his fourth win at Martinsville in his career, and he's going to win his third straight spring race. I'm picking Martin Truex Jr. to win, and he's going to continue that streak of drivers look at getting their first wins. And if he does that, it'll be his eighth driver to win. I think he's going to get it done. Martin Truex Jr., like I said, has ultimately been really, really good on the short tracks, and at Richmond looked very, very strong. Joe is racing, especially him and another driver we'll get into a little bit, seeing him show up every time we're at the track, and I think that we are going to see Martin Truex Jr. pick up his first win of 2022. It seems like MTJ's form is coming back to fruition, and I think that Martin Truex Jr. will be a contender, and I think he's actually going to win this race here at Martinsville. He is my winner's pick. So now let's jump into the ones that you need to keep your eyes out on for this weekend at Martinsville. Who are the ones to watch? My first one to watch, this guy is tied for the points lead currently at the moment with another driver that we're going to talk about. This guy's been running up front every single race, but when it seems like he leads a ton of laps, the race goes away from it. I feel like that's going to happen again then. But maybe that doesn't happen this weekend, and he does finally get that first win. That I'm talking about is Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney's been very, very fast here at Martinsville. Every time he has a really fast car here, he seems like he just never can capitalize and close out the deal. So I think that Ryan Blaney's going to have a really good run this weekend for sure, and I think he's going to have a shot of keeping the points lead. It just seems like he's had one of the fastest cars and is definitely underdog to make championship for. Actually, I think can make the championship for this year, but I got to see some wins coming out of it, and I think he's got a shot to get it done. My second driver you guys need to keep your eyes on is the other driver that's currently tied for the points lead and does have a winner in Martinsville back in 2020 in the fall. I'm talking about the driver of the 9-car 400 Motorsports, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott has been historically very, very fast. The last time we were here at Martinsville, he was running inside the top 10. However, Chase Elliott in the end of the race really started falling back. He dominated early, but the car really, really fell back near the end of the race. But Chase Elliott is historically known to be really, really quick here at Martinsville. So I think he's going to have a lot of speed. I think he's going to have a lot of pace. And I think that Chase Elliott will be a contender for the victory to get that first win of 2022. The third driver you need to keep your eyes on is a guy that really struggled up until last week and has had a bad start to the year. But this guy, like I said, finally picked up his first victory of 2022, and I think he's going to have some really awesome pace here at Martinsville. I'm going to say Denny Hamlin's the third one you need to keep your eyes on. I think Joe Racing is going to have a lot of speed, including Denny Hamlin, and Denny Hamlin, of course, off that strategy near the end where he drove all the way up to the front. I think Denny Hamlin is going to be a contender to win this race. I think that Joe Gibbs is somewhat back. They're not fully back yet, but I think that Denny Hamlin will be a contender. He's won here quite a few times. He's one of the best drivers here in Martinsville history, and I think that Denny Hamlin is going to be a factor here at Martinsville. And finally, the last driver pick is a one to watch. It's probably going to surprise a lot of you people, but the last couple times we've been here to Martinsville, the last couple times he's been here to Martinsville especially, it seems like this guy has gotten better and better. And he dominated the early portion race last fall before unfortunately having some major issues and some speeding penalties that really took him out of contention to contend for this victory. I'm talking about Kyle Larson. Now, Kyle Larson, guys, has not been really, really good at Martinsville in the past. However, like I said, he's gotten better over the last couple races here. On top of that, it seems like Kyle Larson is finally starting to get his groove. He had 3 races where he finished outside the top 25, but he finally picked up his first top 5 finish since all the way back at Las Vegas where he nearly won. And I think that 5 team is really going to start getting into their groove, and I think he could contend for the victory. He would not shock me if he wins. He's not been great here at Martinsville, but I think that there's something about that 5 team that I feel is about to change in the 5 car, and I think that Kyle Larson will be a contender to win this weekend here at Martinsville. So, those are my picks for this weekend at Martinsville. Just a reminder, my suck picks are Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Cole Custer. My underdogs are Bubba Wallace and Brad Keselowski. My winner's pick is Martin Truex Jr. And my ones to watch are Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Larson. So anyway, those are my race picks here on the channel. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel notification on Speed 5 when a video does go live on my channel. Follow my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's get you below over that and comment your picks for this weekend here at Martinsville. Tell me who you think's going to suck. Tell me who you think your underdog is, and tell me who you think is going to win this weekend here at Martinsville. Let me know in the comments below. Tomorrow we're going to have a news video on the channel, and then Thursday most likely we won't have anything but special for the channel. We will have a race review for the Truck Series race right after that concludes, so I definitely would recommend checking that out. So anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time with some more great, awesome NASCAR and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.